Hi everyone, welcome to the Nikizumi channel again. Today, I'm going to be having another one of those great roundtable discussions about a big anime, Gundam Unicorn. And with me today is, to my left,
Arcemise, that one guy from the Eureka 7 review. Woo!
And joining us over Skype is...
Rena Innocenti. My relationship to Nikizumi is kind of secret.
So last weekend, we all got together and we watched both the first episode and the newest episode of the brand new Gundam Unicorn series, and we're going to be reviewing it, talking about the story, what we liked and disliked, and where we think it's going. So part one, we're going to do the story overview. So
now this part we're going to be talking a lot about the story elements, so it's probably going to have a few spoilers in it. Granted, there's only 2 episodes to go off of, so yeah, it pretty much would be spoiler, but you'd be getting a good deal of information as well.
I guess we'll get started with episode 1, which was Day of the Unicorn. This is kind of an interesting one because we're going a couple years after Char's Counterattack, my favorite Gundam movie. And we've returned to Zeon versus Federation territory. We meet Banagher Lynx, who's an interesting protagonist to say the least. He can fight. He's also an engineering student at Anaheim Electronics Academy. And he and his friends are going on a history museum field trip.
Yeah. The field trip itself is just a nerd fun time, especially for Mr. Izumi here, who pretty much is personified in one of the characters in the show.
I am nothing like the Afro Kid. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't shout out mobile suit ID numbers at random. I totally do. The scene is great because it opens with every Easter egg you could possibly imagine. There are Zeon uniforms everywhere. The Zaku Amuro took out in that iconic beam saber stabbing scene from the first episode is in the museum. It's just ridiculous.
It's a whole bunch of... I was sitting there watching, and he was sitting there going, ha! It was funny.
I was super nerding out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, poor Banagher gets in a weird situation when he meets a girl and saves her Macross style. Like, totally...
That's the better part.
I mean, yeah.
You missed him seeing the unicorn out the window first.
Oh yeah, he's having a weird day because he sees this weird mobile suit out the window. Then he saves this weird girl who looks strangely familiar if you know your 80s Gundam.
Who could that possibly
Wonder
be?
who she is.
Well, she's a redhead and she's about 16 years old.
She's got the whoosh hair going on.
That great 80s whoosh hair. I wonder if it's Mina Wasabi from original Gundam.
You're crazy. That's crazy talk.
Anyway, she's looking for this group known as the Vist Foundation, who are having meetings not just with the Federation, but also with some Zeon remnants, who, outside the colony that they're in, have managed to get into a pretty nasty firefight. Mecha violence ensues to the extreme.
The Kshatriya! Oh my god.
Well, the Kshatriya is amazing, especially now that everything is all super pretty. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. And it uses the funnels, for those that aren't familiar. Those are like the little kind of laser beam pods that fly out and just like shoot everything. And the way they take apart a mech is just surgical.
Yeah, the pilot, Marita Cruz, we get another new type pilot who kind of looks like the Peru clones from Double Zeta. And she is just ruthless as a pilot. She's probably the scariest Zeon pilot we've seen in a very long time. And her machine is awe-inspiring.
If she shows up on the battlefield and I'm there, I'm running away. I might not even run away. I might just kill myself so she can't get to me.
She's hardcore.
Or hope to hell I'm on her side.
Yeah, we start out, we see her first fight with a couple of Jagans squads like chasing them down. And there's
The Jagan has never gotten nice things done to it on screen. It is always getting destroyed.
Though there's a wonderful like finale to that fight where this hero Jagan, what was the Jagan?
It's a Stark Jagan.
A Stark Jagan, like the pilot just like goes all Ozma Lee on him and just tries like taking him out with a beam saber. Needless to say, Jagan versus
Custom new type machine doesn't end well.
No.
The guy gets bisected.
But it was totally worth it.
The mecha...
He lasted forever.
Oh, yeah.
For a Jagan pilot, he lasted really long. The battle is... Every battle in the episode was awe-inspiring.
But that one was like... Makes cannon fodder pilots feel good about themselves.
I love me my
Really
cannon
bad.
fodder.
It's a good day to die.
We get also, in this episode, Banagher tries to come with the girl, Audrey, to this Vist Foundation, and initially they turn him away. But when the fighting gets into the colony and it looks like his friends are in trouble, Banagher rushes back there, only to find the actual facility has turned into a war zone itself. Like, the Zeon guys are running around. What appears to be the Federation version of the CIA is there, looking for something called Laplace's box.
They're crazy.
It's just falling apart, and he meets the leader of the Vist Foundation again, who trusts him with this new mobile suit, the Unicorn, and prints on it, and in my... I called it from the trailer, of course the leader of the Vist Foundation who built this new Gundam is Banagher's dad.
Dun dun dun!
What a...
Oh
Oh
That's
my
not that big of a
gosh!
spoiler.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
it's not like that happens in almost every Gundam show. Except it does happen in every Gundam show. So, Banagher takes
Unless
off.
you're Gundam Seed, then it just kind of doesn't work.
Oh,
Let,
Seed.
let's not bring Seed
Yes.
into this.
Back to Unicorn.
We're having good times. Anyway, Banagher demonstrates the intense power of the Unicorn by fighting incredibly well against the Kshatriya, and so ends episode 1, with the Unicorn revealing its alternate, more Gundam-looking mode.
Mm-hmm. It's very pretty again. Very pretty.
Episode 2, The Red Comet, or something along those lines.
It's the face of Char, wasn't it?
It was the second coming of Shar?
Yeah, the second coming of
Second
Char,
coming
that's
of
what
Char.
it is. So, Banagher is, of course, out fighting in the Unicorn, and we don't actually get to see him inside of it.
It was interesting, the scene right before, or while it was transforming, the inside of the cockpit changed, and it turned into something like we instantly thought of Evangelion. Like, the cockpit, like, switches into the sleek mode, and it kind of closes in on him, as opposed to the open ones that we're usually used to seeing in Gundam.
And then it just goes into its full, ridiculous, overpowered Gundam mode.
And that is the only time you see him in the cockpit, is when you see the cockpit change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
during
don't...
that fight.
We don't really get to see him in the Unicorn during the fight, but we do see Merida, who is really cool-headed, and again, this cool new type chick, suddenly freaking out because she's being totally outclassed by this machine that she's never seen before. Eventually, the Zeons pull back, and Banagher ends up on the Argama! Yay!
Yay!
Incidentally, when they mentioned Bright Noah, even though he didn't appear on screen, we all squeed.
I'm not even kidding. And there's 2 guys and 1 girl for that squee. It was amazing.
It was fangirl-tastic.
Yeah. Mentioning Bright turns everyone into a fangirl.
Yay!
The Argama is still looking pretty good, although the only familiar face on board is Dr. Hassan.
Which is fine.
That's fine,
He
yeah.
was a fun guy.
We meet
At
a
least
couple...
we know he survived.
Which is more than a lot of the Argama crew can say. Oh, God. Zeta,
The poor Argama crew.
you weren't even safe in Char's counterattack, Ostenage. But, we get to meet a lot of the Federation people, including Riddy, who has kind of gained some points in my book for being just an interesting, grown Federation pilot type character.
He looks a lot like Bernie from 0080. I swear, they're like long-lost brothers or something like that. Except he's
well,
on the
Radiant
Federation.
gains points in my book partially for things that he hasn't done yet.
We get to find out basically the Argama was sent there to also look for this Laplace's box thing and to fight terrorist activities. But it seems like Anaheim Electronics, who's also on board, along with the Federation's CIA group, Ecolas, they seem to be up against each other. And the CIA guys seem kind of creepy.
Yeah, their tactics
They are
right
pretty
away.
creepertastic.
Yeah, the tactics that they use right away are Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged child-grabbing classes kind of thing, where we've kidnapped this one girl, we're going to hold her hostage so that the other guys won't shoot at us. Which is great because they get called on that by Full Frontal.
Of course, we have to mention the appearance of Full Frontal, who is on the Rail Lula, yes, Char's ship from Counterattack, which is pretty amazing in and of itself. And then here's Shuichi Ikeda's Char voice coming from this guy. We have a new masked man who
Voiced by Char.
voiced by Char, looks like Char if he grew a mullet and popped his collar.
A worse mullet.
A terrible, terrible mullet.
Crossbreed with a poodle.
But he is a brilliant tactician. We immediately see him go after the Argama
takes out all of its guns, like, right away. That was what he just aims for all the guns and just disables this entire ship.
Takes out the guns. As the mobile suits come out, he takes them out. Sometimes he just shoots them as they come off the catapult.
That poor guy.
He was the only surviving one.
Yeah, poor Riddy is the only survivor. And Bonniger again goes out, trying to stop this, but of course these CIA guys, like Brian was just mentioning, what's the first thing they do? They hold Audrey at gunpoint.
Yeah. And that's just a great, wonderful scene where we get to play around with morals of both the new Xeon forces that we're getting to see and what the Federation's current tactics are for handling a situation like this.
And it's freaky because this Char-like character at least, is chastising the Federation for amoral conduct, and he's largely right. It's a really intense scene. And then Bonniger, of course, suffers of that classic Gundam illness, though, of as soon as you get a beam rifle, you can't aim worth poo. So,
yeah, he goes through the ammo pretty quick on that thing.
After wasting his ammo, he finally starts fighting well, only to be taken out by the Kshatriya returning to the battlefield. And he's taken captive. In terms of being captive, it's not really... they don't put him in a prisoner of war camp.
Like they did for Audrey on the Federation.
They take him to Full Frontal's fancy office, and...
Which is remodeled to look like the one from... Was it Char's Counterattack?
They said it was a remodel of Deeran's office from original Gundam. So he has this fancy office, and that's about, he just takes all of Bonniger's questions. He even takes his mask off when Bonniger asks him to. And again, the guy looks like Char, so that's really freaky. Anyway, Bonniger, after meeting up also with Full Frontal's angry Dune Gus wannabe wingman dude, he finally leaves and is put in the custody of Marita Cruz, and she has a talk about the philosophy of Xeon with him. Around the same time, Bonniger gets the plans that the Federation is coming to spring him, and they're going to destroy everything they can on this Xeon colony in the process.
Now the important thing about like the implications of this upcoming attack on the Federation's part is that they're being Banniger's being captive in like a Xeon city. I mean, there's civilians. He's living with a civilian family, essentially.
There's no indication that there's military presence there other than Full Frontal's office. Like, you don't see mobile suits anywhere. You don't see weapons.
We just see the CIA goons planting bombs on the outside, and that's how the episode pretty much ends.
The closest thing to a military anything was the bunker that the religious citadel was in.
Alright, so that's our overview of episodes 1 and 2 of Gundam Unicorn. Stay tuned for our analysis of things we liked and disliked in part 2.